Hi, it's Lee Goldstein from thenewstraders.com, and I'm testing the 7-year bond auction. It's a report that hasn't been trading well at all, and we didn't put it on the docket for this month, but of course I've got to test it and make sure that everything stays mediocre, or if it's getting better, then we may start to trade it again. So these are the things you have to do when you're news trading. If you decide to remove a trade because it hasn't been performing well, then you can't just ignore it for the rest of your life. You have to keep an eye on it, especially if it historically has been a good winner for us. You have to check it every month to make sure that you've done the right thing by seeing it on the sidelines. So this is the 7-year bond auction. It takes place at 13:01:30, and the setup that we use is we use a 2-tick bracket. It's a very simple setup, 2-tick bracket. The key is the entry time, 13:01:30, because that's when we discovered the bonds move. I'm doing 2 ticks for my first position, 5 ticks for my second position, a 3-tick stop loss. That's the trade. So we'll be back in a little bit. The trade takes place. It triggers normally on our chart at 13:01:30, and then we give it 30 seconds to see if we get filled. Actually, we've changed it to 40 seconds now. It had been performing so poorly that we actually increased our wait time on whether or not we would cancel the trade if it didn't fill. So we'll go to 13:02:10, and then we'll cancel if it doesn't fill. With this bond report, it's extremely important to check your time. So make sure you go to time.is and make sure it says that your time is exact. Time.is. Make sure time is exact. For this trade, no fooling around when you have a special entry time of 13:01:30. Okay? Don't forget. So remember, the way that this particular trade works, we wait for the chart to trigger the trade at 13:01:30, which is a few seconds from now. You'll see my
order pending
show up on my chart. Now we're going to get
order pending.
It's an immediate fill, and then it pulled back instantaneously, which is always the
order filled.
Fill, but it looks like it got my first target. It went down short. Now the question is, do you stay and hang? We've made 2 ticks, definitely. Although it is sim, so probably we've only made maybe none, because we probably would have had a tick at least of slippage, and then you know, a tick of slippage, and maybe a tick of slippage on the fill because it's sim. So we could be break even right now for real. You want more of a pull through than 2 ticks, which is what we've seen here. We show a short at 01. It really wouldn't have been short until 00 in real life. There would have been at least 1 tick of slippage. And then maybe we've had 1 tick. So this is not as good looking as it appears to be on first shot. It's 62.50 profit, so it says. But that's why I'm watching the trade. We're trying to figure out if this trade's worth doing every month, or if it's just not performing up to par. So right now it's just sitting, which is the worst thing that you want in a trade, because it's frustrating. You make bad decisions when it's not moving. You want it to be done. You want it to be done. When it's a data trade, you know, there are certain types of trades where you're willing to take time. There are all-day trades that you might have. This is not an all-day trade. This is generally a pretty quick trade. So we're looking for movement down because that's where our target and our fill was. Our fill was short, so now our target is down at 27. Do you want to rush and move it? I don't want to move anything right now. If I move my stop closer, the odds are I'll get pulled out of the market. I don't want to give up on the trade yet because it hasn't shown a propensity to go up. It just hasn't shown a propensity to move very much. I've already got a $62 profit. What I could do, in theory, if I was trading this with making believe it was real money, this way now, no matter what happens, I've moved my stop 1 tick closer. I've at least protected 1 tick of profit. So no matter what happens, if I was in real life here, I would have one tick. The key, the thing we're looking for is, are we going to get any movement at all, or should I now move my target into the current price? Usually with this trade, in the old days, you used to get some movement. I'm going to pause it. Well, no, I'm not going to pause it. I'm getting movement, getting a little bit. Let's see if we can get some follow through. It's pretty slow, so I'll move it up one. How's that? Move it up one tick. It's moving beautifully in our direction, so I will take all my risk off. Or, yep, taking all the risk off, every bit. I'm now on the market's money. Looks like maybe this trade is worth trading. Although one good trade after weeks and months of mediocre trades, maybe one contract next month rather than 2 or 3 or 4, which people have been, doing previously. I'll give it 30 seconds now to either stop me out, hit my target, or I will move my target into profit. Okay? It's really certainly not giving us a big move, that's for sure. If I move my stop down 1, that'll be the end of the game. Let's give it 10 more seconds, see if we can get that move and get out. Sim will fill you here, real life might not. Even Sim didn't fill there. Volume's not bad. Volume's not bad. But you could see why this trade has not been a darling. It hasn't been a darling because, yes, even though it appears it's making a little bit of money today, it just doesn't have that great pop and drop movement that we've seen in the past. Nice steady move, quick little trade with a good profit on bonds. It's a struggle. Right now it's a struggle.
Order filled.
So theoretical 125, probably the truth if you figure in slippage, which you have to calculate in real life. We'd probably have maybe a $90 trade, which is perfectly okay. But the risk was double that because you had 3 ticks of risk times 90 for each contract. It was at least 187.50 in risk. I would prefer to have lower risk in relation to a profit of 125, but it did work. The trade clearly looks like it worked today, and I will notate that in the journal for next month. Take care, everybody. It's Lee Goldstein, thenewstraders.com. See you in the trade room.